Right, let's continue with more Elder Scrolls Online. Let's take a look here. Abba's Landing, Merchant Lords version 3. Prepared by Tamriel, Master of Secrets for the Queen of Tanith. It was inevitable. A den of vice and corruption such as Abba's Landing requires a master to feed its needs, or in this case, a mistress. Enter Lady Felice Vienne, who arrived in Abba's Landing from Wayrest with her dignity, a cask full of gold, and the intention to make a place for herself amid the debauchery and depravity of the port city. Very little information concerning the circumstances of her arrival still exists, but I was able to determine it had something to do with her late husband, a prominent noble in Wayrest, and her alleged role in his death. Whatever the situation that sent her to Abba's Landing, Lady Felice wasted no time purchasing property and establishing the Winsome Wellwar, a tavern and inn that soon became the talk of the port. What started as a humble eatery and fest hall began offering other entertainments of the less than legal kind. Lady Felice saw that the people moving through Abba's Landing had particular vices, and she knew that there was gold to be made if she could satisfy their needs. Today, House Vienne handles the more intimate and discreet demands of Abba's Landing, including illicit substances, prostitution, and other vices. The Winsome Wellwar, modeled after the infamous Chaste Harpy in High Rock, serves as a brothel and the base of operations for the current head of the house, Lady Elani Montaigne. I'll just say Lani Montaigne. Despite the calamity that befell all of the merchant houses, she continues to make a modest profit administering to the illicit needs of pirates, merchant crews, and visiting nobles looking for a bit of adventure. All of the house's trade is focused on Abba's Landing, and all under the lady's discerning eye. She presents a proper, genteel countenance when she strolls the city streets and meets with clients and vacationing dignitaries, but she has a violent, even murderous temper, though few who have the misfortune to see that side of her live to tell the tale. Secrets are as much Lady Lanny's stork and trade as sex and drugs are, so. She might prove to be a powerful ally in your ambitions, provided you never turn your back on her or partake in any of her tempting pleasures. Okay. Note, these dispatches were recovered from a Tanith vessel and delivered to an interested party in Abba's Landing. I have published them so we may all know what our cousins across the bay think of us. Anonymous. Interesting. We've already read The Strange Case of Jarit, so let's examine this.
That's one clever thing, but not clever enough.
Okay, so we have to have is it even possible? This is a riddle here. Let's take a look here.
Those tumblers must be the way inside. If we match the proper combination, the door should unlock.
There should be something near here that should tell us what that combination probably is. I know that there's a horn here and skull there. Oh, I was ignoring the candle in the middle. No, I couldn't see the candle in the middle. So let's go to the middle tumbler and fix this. Oh, come on. That definitely looks like that's it. However, alright, let's try this. That candle. This is an interesting one. We have the horn, the candle, and the skull.
Did you hear a click? I heard a click. Come on, let's go find the Geovessan skull.
Before we start stealing that, ooh, look at all this. Abba's Landing, Merchant Lords V5, prepared by Tamriel, Master of the Secrets of the Queen of Tanith. Now, I want to tell you about the sad and unfortunate fate of the fourth major merchant house of Abba's Landing, an organization I like to call the Fallen House. Gurges and Associates date back to a powerful and important imperial family that has all but disappeared from the Cyrodiil records. It came to prominence during the rise of the Merchant Lords of Hews Bane, when Isabel Gurges, known as the Regal Pirate of the Abyssian, retired from raiding and pillaging to form a more or less legitimate business. Of course, legitimate business means something very different in a place like Abba's Landing. Isabel began making loans with exorbitant interest rates. It wasn't long before she took Gurges and Associates into gambling, fencing, laundering, and hijacking, where she had her crews steal cargo from merchant vessels so they could sell it back to the same merchants for an immediate profit. When the merchant house crisis rocked Abba's Landing 15 years prior, Gurges and Associates was nearly bankrupted. The tumult since, as well as events leading up to the Three Banners War, all but spelled the doom of the merchant house. Today, the Gurges family has only a handful of blood members and vassals, leaving its current patriarch, Martinus Gurges, a bitter and jealous man. He has plans, however. Plans to rebuild his company, reclaim his fortune and holdings, and once again make the Gurges name something to be honored and respected, if not feared, in Abba's Landing. He has a long way to go to make this dream come true. Note, these dispatches were recovered. Yeah. Maybe someday we'll get to see who all these people are. So we got some lockpicks. Don't need to take that drink. Authenticity of Geovessan skull. Honorable Thane Folstrom. Though the events of 2920 are largely fictional in nature, the seed of truth has borne fruit in the form of the Geovessan skull. It is indeed the gold-dipped and gem-encrusted cranium of Tavia, famously imprisoned in Castle Geoves at the behest of Emperor Roman III. Whispers that the Geovessan skull is a false relic appear to have been spread by a previous owner in Hammerfell, no doubt to discourage the attempted theft of such a valuable piece of history. I hereby certify the Geovessan skull as authentic. All rumors claiming the source skull was from a condemned Breton prisoner are just that, rumor. Merchant Mannix, Imperial Historian. So it's the skull of Tavia. Tuwaka Arke Xerxes by Lady Cinnabar of Tanith. It is not uncommon for scholars to note the clear similarities between the gods Xerxes, Arke, and Tuwaka. For a particularly uninspired summary of the obvious, see Psychopomps of Tamriel by that old bloviator Phrastus of Elenir. Nearly every creature on the continent worships these deities in one form or another. Indeed, the Wood Elves of Velen would revere them both. I wish, in this brief disquisition, to pose several questions about the origins of these gods, and then speculate upon the answers to those questions. We begin with Xerxes, as his worship, at least as recorded in written history, predates that of both Arke and Tuwaka. An elven deity who restores the life stories of all the races of Aldmeri, Xerxes appears in multiple creation or origin stories, many of which are inconsistent with each other. While some of these origins may be false, their multiplicity may also merely be a reflection of Xerxes' manifold nature. In the two most common origin myths, Xerxes appears either as Auriel's scribe, recording events at his side since the beginning of time, or as Metheric Aldmeri priest of Auriel, who was elevated to divinity by the higher deity. The latter story is consistent with the High Elves' conceit that they are directly descended from the Aedra, and can, in certain miraculous circumstances, apotheosize and reascend to godly status. For the Altmer, Xerxes records not just the life stories of individual elves, but all the connections of lineage and inheritance that bind them together and link them to their ancestors. As nothing is more important to an Altmer than his or her ancestry, it is easy to understand Xerxes' paramount role in defining and maintaining status and stability in Somerset society. Arche, of course, is one of the 8 divines that were presented to the newly freed citizens of Cyrodiil by Saint Elizir at the founding of the First Empire. Though official dogma of the Church of the Eight holds that Elizir was merely revealing to her subjects gods who had been watching over them all along, scholarly research of the documentary fragments that survived from early in the First Era hint at a different story. Cozy's Tamrielian tracts are well known, but I have also had the privilege of studying Sandrillet's Nadic Oblations and the anonymous Death Song for King Darodil in their original manuscripts. Comparisons of the latter two against each other illuminated several previously obscure passages in both, and the resulting clarification was the impetus for this paper. To come to the point, I believe I may well finally have enough evidence to confirm Sedulus's speculative theory of arcane convergence. Most of my readers will doubtless be familiar with Sedulus' proposal that the arche of the 8 divines is in origin a fusion of aspects of the elven deity Xerxes with those of the primal Atmoran death god Orki. My new translation of the Death Song and its formerly ill-understood plea for soul guidance passages make it clear that the psychopomp being addressed possesses attributes of both the elven and Atmoran deities. And once the proper vowel shift is applied, what is the name of this god? To'arka, which brings us inevitably to the Yorukan deity, Tuwaka. How long he was worshipped in that name by the human tribes of Yokuda is now unknowable. But as all our races' records were lost in the cataclysm that sank the archipelago. But even old Phrastus had the wits to note it cannot be a coincidence that Tuwaka performs the same functions for the Red Guards that Arche and Xerxes do for the Tamrielic men and Mer. Are these gods really separate and distinct deities, or are they all aspects of the same deity, worshipped under different names in different cultures? You must seek the answer elsewhere, for that is where scholarship ends and theology begins. You know what? Let's go steal what we came here for. Something tells me
it's so shiny.
Something tells me as soon as we take it, somebody's gonna walk in.
Surrender, thief! The manor is surrounded. Today the Iron Wheel brings you to justice.
What? Who are you?
Chief Inspector Ranbeek. We foiled your attempt to steal the Geovessan skull. Will you also confess to stealing Magnifica Felora's dowry?
What's a Felora?
See, it doesn't matter. Return the Geovessan skull and surrender, or face the consequences.
No idea what he means. I'll follow your lead.
I think we're gonna fight. We came here for the skull, so why give it up? Let's go.
Hold them off! I'll find another way out.
Let's get my buddies in on the fun. Why can we not go down here? Okay, we're having a few technical difficulties here. Okay, here we are.
Who was that? What was all that about, with dowries and iron wheels?
I have no idea. Did you tell anyone we were coming here?
Nobody. Well, I sent word to the Thieves Guild of Abar's Landing. They were interested in acquiring the Geovessen's skull. Abar's Landing was to be our next stop. But why would this iron wheel set an ambush here? Are you certain you've never heard of them?
Never, but we can figure out who they are after we escape.
Of course, you're right. The iron wheel could return at any moment. We need to get out of here, and fast. Wait, did you hear that?
Hear what?
There's someone coming. Who are you?
You don't know me yet, but I'm a friend. Quen, isn't it? Put on this uniform and head outside. The iron wheel won't detain a Windhelm guard.
There's no way I'm leaving here without my partner.
I only had one uniform. Go on, recover your boat and meet us by the catacomb exit. Then we can return to the Thieves Guild in Abar's Landing.
You're from the Thieves Guild? All right. I'll meet you both by the exit. Good luck, partner.
What a coward.
She'll be fine. Looks like we take the dangerous way around.
All of these guilds, they send us all to do the hard work for them. Let's see if we have any skills that need to be morphed. Increases your stamina recovery. Yeah, let's increase our maximum health.
Did I mention I'm afraid of spiders? Probably should have mentioned. I'll keep it under control.
We also found a lore book that we could not read because heat came right on us just as we were starting to read it. But I'm pretty sure I've probably read this one. Yep, we'll just have to sell it.
Look, a crypt! Nothing bad ever happens in a crypt.
Well, if we keep our heads down and just keep moving. Not happening. Oh boy.
On the right side, these only have 4 limbs.
So it looks like we're going to be forced to keep Daedric summoning up. About to say, where did our clan fear go? All right.
It's easy. Or me. Let's share the blame.
Okay, wrong way.
Are we running? No? All right then.
All right. Take this one out. Yeah, we have to go through here. And we have to fight.
Stay away from the pointy bits.
Oh, wow.
Follow me. We're almost there. Are you all right? You're greener than my favorite vest.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Okay, let's talk to Walk softly.
Could have lived my entire life without running through a spider pit. But we made it through. You'll make a real impression in Abba's Landing.
What's the Boss Landing? We've been reading about it.
The Thieves Guild. And my guildmaster, who can explain why the Iron Wheel thinks you deserve the same fate they've inflicted upon us. It's an unpleasant fate. It involves branding irons.
What if I don't want to go to Abba's Landing?
You are your own master, but the Iron Wheel is relentless, and they know your face. They know your partner's face, too. So, tell me where we're all headed? I suggest Abba's Landing as soon as you're able.
Well, we're done with the Dark Brotherhood, so let's go. Alright, so we have a pet added to our collection.
When you're up to it, we'll head to the Thieves' Den. It's in an old cistern.
Oh, a cistern. Wonderful. I'm to be surrounded by water everywhere I go.
So Hews Bane is right across the ocean from the Gold Coast. Interesting. Alright, let's talk.
Always a pleasant journey to Abba's Landing. Head to our Thieves' Den. The Guildmaster awaits. Your partner and I will be along when she's less expulsive.
Where's the Thieves' Den?
Hidden within an old cistern that's long forgotten by the city's merchant lords. A new home for us after the Iron Wheel tore apart the old one. It's a bit damp. You get used to it.
Okay. Can we ride our... Okay, so we got a new pet. Non-combat packs has been updated with the Jackal collectible. Why would I want a Jackal following me around? It's annoying. This is a whole town. First, let's find a merchant spot there, a blacksmith spot, so we can sell some stuff.
If you pay your bounty like a good criminal, I may let you see my collection of antique writing crops.
It's just 115.
Pleasure doing business with you.
All right.
I spend...
There might be a few things I need to sell. We can sell that. We can sell that. You know what? Why are we even selling it when we can deconstruct it and get stuff from it? Doesn't make sense. So let's not sell it. Okay, there's the blacksmith station right here. Let's deconstruct. Weapons. Let's try here with the woodworking station. No, this is dye. This is clothing station. Wood is over there. Restoration staff. Yeah, I'm this close to switching back to having 2 staves and investing in our investing more points into magicka than stamina. But it's gonna cost me a lot of money because I'll have to redistribute all my points and all my champion points as well.
Try that again, and I'll cut you.
I suppose I'll have to tell the guard.
I'm rather busy right now.
Trying to find the way to the Thieves Guild is not easy at all.
What?
But I think we found it. Alright, talk to the guild master in the Thieves' Den. Pretty sure there's nothing we can steal here. Oh, here's a fence. See if we have anything we need to. Nothing.
Over here. We should speak.
Okay, so this is the leader of the Thieves Guild. All right, we're half an hour in, so let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Thieves Guild.